Hello and welcome to our school family. We're so happy that you've chosen to enroll your child at Investigation Preschool. This classroom is for children 3 and 4 years old, and I will be your child's teacher this year. My name is Christy Dennison, but your child will most likely call me Miss Christy. I've been working in early childhood education for the last 28 years. I love observing children, witnessing how their minds work, and celebrating all of their learning. I'm looking forward to working with all of you and having a fun year together. So, our view of the child drives our beliefs and values. I believe that every child is unique and capable of learning. I value play based learning, creativity, and fostering positive relationships. All learning is based on relationships with the environment, relationships with parents and caregivers, relationships with peers, and the community. One of my favorite quotes is by Albert Einstein. Learning is experience. Everything else is just information. So, to best understand why I've designed my classroom the way I did, I thought it would be important if I first explained a little bit about how children learn. The brain and the nervous system consists of neurons, which are essential building blocks. These neurons receive sensory input from the external world. They send motor commands to our muscles, and they transform and relay electrical signals at every step in between. Children must explore their environment with all of their senses, and they must move or do something with that sensory input to create neural pathways. So, do your children do things repeatedly until they might drive you crazy? Well, there's a purpose to this madness. When we first learn something new, it's slow going, like beating a path through an open field. When you first walk through the field, there's no path. But as you walk the same route over and over, a pathway gradually forms, just like when neurons are activated repeatedly. Eventually, that repetition will build an information highway to different parts of the brain. This is how neural pathways are strengthened and learning takes place. So I refer you back to the quote: learning is experience. Everything else is just information. In order to learn and remember anything, there must be three things: sensory input, movement, and emotional connection. We've talked about the first two, so let's look at emotional connections. The limbic system is pictured here in blue on the brain, and it represents the part of your brain that is responsible for emotions. Picture this: your child experiences a snail on a sidewalk. There's a collage of images, responding actions that run through an emotional filter in the limbic system that determines the value and meaning of that experience. This limbic system not only interprets, but it also directs our emotions and our behavior. It is the on off switch to learning. When the limbic system interprets sensory information, it sets the emotional tone of the information. So when the limbic system interprets information as positive, it will send messages of interest and excitement. When that light switch is on, it activates the prefrontal cortex, which is shown here in green, and it's responsible for executive functioning skills such as working memory, flexible thinking, and self control. It enables children to use past knowledge and understanding to guide their behavior. The development of executive functions in the prefrontal cortex is initiated through play. Yes. So now that we have this established, let's take a look at the role of the child in our classroom. Their main goal is to play. They may play in small groups, large groups, or even play alone. Children are naturally curious and explore their environment through their own interests. They learn through hands-on sensory exploration. They observe, predict, and discover the world through active investigation. Though through their explorations, they may get a bit messy. So they should definitely dress for mess. As a teacher, my role is to observe and guide the children in my class. I believe that each child is unique with their own potential for learning and making positive contributions to those around them. By forming close relationships with them, I can better understand their individual needs and plan my lessons accordingly to support them in their play and learning. Children learn through relationships, so providing a secure, nurturing, and responsive environment is key to helping them feel safe and confident enough to explore. Through their interactions with both adults and peers, they can learn important social and language skills. As a teacher, it is important for me to stay up to date with the latest research and findings in early childhood development so that I can share my knowledge and provide the best possible education for your children. The role of the family. It will be my goal this year to partner with you to learn about your culture so that I can acknowledge, respect, and build upon the ethnic, socioculture, and linguistic diversities that we might have in our classroom. I invite you all in to share your culture, talents, or time with us this year. It is through community that we will achieve our best selves. We have an open door policy here, so you can drop in at any time, but I will also make an effort to plan for your specific participation. We will stay connected so you are informed and an integral part of your child's development. After careful observations, I will share what I see with you of your child's development and learning processes and ask for input about what you are seeing. Together, we can see the whole picture of the child and set appropriate developmental goals that we can work on together. Our classroom. It is a safe, positive, and inclusive space where children can explore, experiment, and learn through play. An environment rich with materials and provocations where they feel inspired to learn and explore. Materials in our environment are selected carefully regarding various cultures and abilities and change throughout the year. Loose parts are incorporated in every center. They help to increase creativity and increase inquiry skills. Our outdoor environment is equally as important. Children are drawn to nature and living organisms. Their understanding of the world is supported through explorations in nature. They are also healthier when they get the vitamin D from the sun and fresh air in their lungs. Our classroom is set up in learning stations that children can freely explore. There will be signs posted in each center to help you understand what learning possibilities might happen in each of the following areas: blocks, construction, dramatic play, manipulatives, math, nature, sensory table, library, and art. Our curriculum is developed on the core truths of how children learn. It is an emergent curriculum where the environment is built on the learner's interests. Interests drive play, play drives growth and development. Therefore, supporting children's interest is fundamental practice. Lesson plans are written after careful observation of emerging and sustaining interests. They will consist of provocations and projects driven by the children's interests and support further development. This will truly inspire your child to learn. Our approach to discipline. So, all behavior is communication. It's our job as adults to figure out what the child is communicating. We use conscious discipline here. When a conflict arises in the classroom, we look at this as a teaching moment instead of a discipline problem. Many times, our children do not have the words or know how to solve the conflict. We will provide your child with these tools. From the first day of school to the last, your child will be working on these social and emotional skills. We use external supports and visual cues, like the ones pictured here, to help the child develop executive functioning skills that they do not have yet. We do not use a reward or punishment system. In that kind of system, children rely on outside forces instead of relying on themselves and their own wisdom. If you'd like to learn more about conscious discipline, you may volunteer in the classroom, ask me questions, visit the website, or attend parent trainings that will be made available this year. A typical day. So in the morning, when you first come in, we will have a morning meeting, and that will be where we will connect through song and prepare ourselves for the day. Then they do journals at 8:15, where children will make practice mark making and writing. At 8:30, it's outside time. 9 o'clock, a snack. 9:15, story time. At 9:30, those are the learning stations we talked about. 11 o'clock, yoga to practice calming and mindfulness. At 11:15, the closing meeting to discuss the events of the day. And then at 11:30, it's departure. So thank you for joining me in exploring the wonders of early childhood education. I can't wait for you and your family to come and play with us.